Hello and welcome to your practice. We're going to be moving through a Vinyasa-based practice today, and it's going to be one of our more long-form Vinyasa-based practices as well. So do make sure you've got everything you need. If you're practicing, perhaps it's a little bit of a warm day, then make sure you've got some water close by if you think you're going to need that throughout. I've got 2 bricks. We might need them, so feel free to grab them. If you don't have them, feel free to get anything that resembles something like a brick or just something that you can lift the floor space into your palms, just to support you as and when you might need it, but they're always totally optional. We're going to start today laying down on our backs, so whenever you are ready and you have the space that you need around you, we will meet there together. And we're going to find, once we have made it down towards our backs, the soles of the feet about mat width distance apart. And we're going to rest the thighs in towards one another. So as you move in towards your constructive rest, just take a little bit of time to make sure you're not fully rolled towards the big toe side of the foot. And you do have this foundation where the whole sole of the foot is still planted. And we're going to place our hands towards our bellies. And just let them land, let them rest in the space that feels most organic and comfortable for you. And then, as always, let's just take a couple of moments to make sure that we are really comfortable in this space. So if you need to move, if you need to kind of scratch an itch or change your clothing, change your hair, then do all of that now. So we can start to drop ourselves into a space where we can land in relative comfort. There might still be those murmurings of things that feel a little bit agitating. Ultimately, they're probably always going to be there. So we can just start to kind of refocus our mind, change our focus, change our intention a little bit. And if you feel safe to do so, let's bring the eyes to close. And this moment's always quite pivotal in our practice, even though it's so simple. It's this opportunity that we really get to meet our practice. I think quite often we're thinking about what the teacher or what the practice can do for us, what they can give to us, how they can serve us. And sometimes we can almost forget that we need to meet the practice too. So we've got to show up, we've got to lean in and see how those 2 places and 2 spaces of really being held can inform one another as if you're having a really vibrant and exciting conversation. Let's just take a couple of moments to feel into the breath. So maybe that comes from a sense of expanding, a sense of deepening your inhales and your exhales. And that might feel like the belly lifting a little bit higher to the sky. Maybe you've got some feedback of how the lungs or how the rib cage moves against your mat space. And then together, let's take a fuller, deeper breath. Inhale through the nose. And confidently let that breath out through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. A nice big sip. Inhale. And blinking open the eyes if you close them. Let's start to heel toe the feet back towards a more neutral parallel space. We're going to gather the right leg in towards the chest and place the right hand towards the heel of the foot here. As you place the right hand to the right heel of the foot, can we pivot the right knee outwards so it's pointing in the same direction as our right shoulder? And just take time to feel a little bit of feedback so that right heel is really pressing into the palm. And you maybe feel a switching on of your muscles in the outer side of your leg as you do this. Keep that pressure of heel into towards palm. Take a full deep breath in through the nose. And then as you breathe outwards, let's just relax that and feel our way kind of melting or softening into as a half happy baby. You might extend your left leg here, but just take a couple of moments to let yourself land and let yourself meet this space. Seeing if we can keep some weight in towards the left side of our hip, our left side of our bum cheek. Feeling into fluid breaths, just taking one more here in through the nose. And we can return the left sole of the foot back down towards the ground if we lengthen that left leg, and then return the right sole of the foot towards the floor as well. And nice and simple, we just take that over to the second side. So initially, as left hand grabs through to the heel of the foot, can we feel a little bit of feedback? So pushing that heel in towards the palm, resting the right hand onto the right frontal hip point just to give the information of steadying through the back of the pelvis. Keeping that little bit of pressure as we feel the expansion. And then just letting ourselves melt into the softness of that space. Maybe the leg goes a little bit closer to the ground. Maybe the right leg now begins to lengthen. We will be working through the hip space a little bit today. So just sending that focus, sending that stimuli in towards the pelvis very subtly. We're gathering already the right sole of the foot down towards the ground and sending the left sole of the foot down towards the ground as well. And once you feel into that space, we're then just going to gather both legs at the same time in towards the bellies and bring the hands behind the knees. Let's meet up in Balasana. So find your way towards your child's pose. We can step the legs backwards, pressing in towards the palms of the hands, set the bum towards the heels, and let's begin to soften the chin in towards the chest. And as you feel in towards Balasana, can you feel in towards this pressure in towards the palms of the hands? So I want you to really connect with the ground space and know that it's there to support you. So rather than always being super passive against it, how can you use it to add and layer a little bit of resistance? And then once you feel the next breath, we start to pull the chin in towards our chest, roll through our spines, pull ourselves up and in towards an angry cat. And then almost in slow motion, looking forwards and ahead of yourselves, start to press in towards the palms of the hands and send the seat all the way back in towards the heels of the feet. It's slow. We take 2 more. Pull your chin inwards, round through the spine, crawl everything into the center. Look ahead of yourselves and press your bum with some resistance back towards the heels of your feet. One more time, pulling the chin towards the chest, rolling through the spine. And then releasing and pressing the bum all the way back towards the heels of the feet. And we are going to return this back in towards a tabletop. So we bring our hands just ever so slightly closer. They can stack underneath our shoulders. Let's tuck through our toes. Pushing towards your palms, feel that little bit of lift away from the ground. And already as I start to feel that lift, I feel the switching on through the bellies, the abdominals, those deeper transverse abdominal spaces. We're going to lower down through the navel point, open through the heart, chest, and throat as we inhale. And then pressing in towards the palms of the hands and those tucked toes, round through the spine, core the chin in towards the chest as you exhale. One more time, lowering down through the belly space, pulling up through the chest, feeling breath in. And pressing down in towards those palms as you round through the spine. We're going to meet back in that neutral tabletop on inhale. Plug into the hands, lift the hips to the ceiling, and pull it back into downward facing dogs. And this is maybe your first downward facing of the day, your first downward facing of the week. Maybe the month or year. Just give yourself a little bit of time to wiggle. Find that comfortable footing. Spread the hands a little bit wider perhaps. And then as you press in towards the palms of the hands, can you continue this sense of meeting your practice? So the physicality is going to shift, the movement language is going to shift. So constantly start to notice how it is you feel in each present space. And as you press in towards those palms of hands, can maybe we start to feel a subtle softening in towards the knees that gently lifts us on towards our tiptoes, just a millimeter or so. That lets our pelvis feel really high to the sky and our head really low to the earth. Hold in this space, expand your breath just that little bit deeper, inhale. Now keep your breath nasal as you exhale. We're going to take a slow rise towards our tiptoes and step our feet behind our wrists at the top of the mat so they're slightly wider. Pull your chest halfway from your thighs as you breathe in. Now place your left hand underneath your nose and bend in towards your left knee. Draw your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling space as you inhale. And as you exhale, send the right hand down, bend in towards the right knee. Left arm pulls up to the sky, expand and open through the chest. And then left hand reaches to the floor and you breathe out. One more each time. So bending in towards the left knee, drawing upwards through the right arm and expansion through the heart. Right hand releases down. Right knee to bend, left arm to go up as we breathe in fully. Left hand to release, two hands now at the floor. We're going to pull our heart halfway from our thighs and heel to our feet closer together. Refold over the legs and let's curl the chin in towards the chest. We're rounding fully at the base of the spine. Lift your arms up high to the sky. Move into first Urdhva Hastasana, inhale. And then float the hands by the side of the body for Samastiti here as you exhale. Gorgeous. We meet this space. Head is high, palms are open. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana on inhale breath. Release and fold over the legs as we exhale outwards. Lifting your chest on inhale. Planting down through the palms, step it back, downward facing dog. We're going to move through two rivers. Pull the chin in towards the chest space, really slow. Your strength lies in your slowness, so don't race. Look forwards, bend through your knees, press it all the way back into downward facing. One more time, rolling through your spine, moving in towards your high planks as you inhale. Bending through your knees and waving it back to downward facing as you breathe out. Now this time, we pull forwards in towards our high plank, inhaling. We breathe into the high plank. We lower down through the knees and we take a moment to send the chest forwards. Hug through the elbows, baby chaturanga as we lower. Small cobra on inhale. Send it back, tuck your toes, lift your hips. We meet back in downward facing on the exhale. Rise towards your tiptoes. Step left foot, step right foot to top of mat. Lift your heart, inhale. Fold in towards your legs, breathe out. Rise to standing, Urdhva Hastasana, inhale. Hands find side of body, exhale, Tadasana. Arms go up to ceiling, inhale. Fold over thighs, exhale. Fingertips connect, pull your chest up. Shift your weight in towards your right foot and float your left leg up and back to the sky. While your heart is drawing forwards, lead your weight a little bit in towards your right toes. Step back with your left foot and send the left knee down to the ground. Lift your arms up to the ceiling, inhale. Now feel that subtle pressure in towards your right heel and pull your left hip point just that little bit higher. Release and frame your right foot. Move through to high plank, inhale. Knees can lower or chaturangas, exhale. Upward facing, inhaling. Downward facing, exhale. We're going to breathe through two. Extend your right leg up to the ceiling, full breath in through the nose. Bend through the right knee and open through the hip as you breathe out. Can you press a little firmer in towards your left palm? Now step your right foot outside of your right hand and let's peel the right arm up towards the ceiling space. Take a full breath in through the nose. Place the right hand at the back of the head. Now pull that right elbow all the way up towards the ceiling as you inhale. And we're going to lower the left knee down as we exhale. Keeping the right hand at the back of the head, can you feel as if that right arm now is going to attach and hug your right cheek? Look underneath your right arm, keep the connection, take a full breath in. Now keep the right hand where it is, just roll that focus down towards the floor space. Can you step your left foot outside of your left hand? Move into Malasana squat, thread the left arm wide. Now pull the right armpit up towards the ceiling, breathe in through the nose. Right arm is still close to right cheek, take an inhale. We're going to release and fold in towards the thighs. Exhale, pull your legs through to straight. Lift your chest as you inhale. Shift weight in towards your left foot, pull your right leg up towards the ceiling. Lean that weight forward, sip your breath in through the nose. Step back with the right foot and send the right knee down. Lift your arms to the sky, it's Anjani, but we pull up through that right hip, we lengthen, inhale. Frame the left foot, exhale. Step back, find your high plank. Chaturanga, lower down. Upward facing breath in. Downward facing, hips go high. Meet yourself, feel the sensation, hold. Left leg goes up, inhale. Bend the knee, open the hip, exhale. Let's start to access in towards the pelvis a little bit, pressing towards that right palm. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Pull your left arm up towards the ceiling, feel in towards that simple twist, inhale. Now place your left hand at the back of the skull. Lift up, lower the right knee down. So with the left elbow high, we can start to lead our left elbow forwards, but wrap that left arm in towards our left cheek. Breathe. Keep everything, but just focus your gaze down towards the center of your mat. And step your right foot outside of your right hand, Malasana squat. Right arm goes wide. Now peel the left side of your lung to the ceiling. Release everything, fingertips go down. Pull your hips up to the sky. Feet heel toe just a little bit closer together. Now from this space, feet are still hip width distance. Pull your chest up, inhale. This is all going to be different. Bend through your knees. As you exhale, can you keep your toes forwards? Maybe there's a release of fingertips out ahead of you. Left hand goes down, right arm goes up to the ceiling space. We breathe in. Send the seat low, keep your toes forwards. Reach through your fingers, hip base, lift your head. Right hand goes down, lift your left arm up to the sky. We release, seat goes down. Arms reach ahead of you. Can you soften the bones in your ankles? Maybe there's a little shift, a little movement. And then hands go down, hips go up. Pull your heart forward, step back, high plank, inhale. Chaturanga or meet downward facing. Hips to the sky. Breathe a little deeper, breathe a little slower. Right leg is going up, inhale. We're bending the knee and opening the hip, exhale. Step your right foot outside of your right hand. We're going to find a lizard, so as you bend towards the right knee, pull your heart forwards. But can you think about almost slotting your right arm fully through the inner seam of your right leg? Nice and high on the ball of your back left toe. Start to reach your fingertips a little bit ahead of you if that feels okay. Let's curl the chin in towards the chest and start to gaze back towards our left ankle. Keeping the bend in the right knee, walk your hands back towards the inside of your right foot. Now press in towards your fingertips and start to make a subtle back bend as you lift your chest. We're going to turn through to Prasarita, wide leg fold. Make sure those feet are in parallel. Place your hands down, lift your chest halfway, inhale. Now with your feet in parallel, bend just your right knee, exhale. Can you again soften the bones of the ankles, start to reach the arms wide like you're flying. Extend the crown forwards and see if we can send the seat lower. Keep pressing in towards the little toe side of the foot. Breathe into softness, feel that right thigh really starting to sing to you. Then keep the bend in the right knee really deep. Pivot yourself to the front of the mat. Gather your hands at prayer. I want your bellies on your right thigh, so that's the depth of bend as you shift the weight forwards and float the left leg. A variation of Warrior 3 that feels really soft and heavy. Be within that buoyancy, inhale. Step back with your left foot, pull your arms up to the sky, meet in a high crescent lunge. So you feel into high crescent lunge, see if you could soften in towards the right leg, pull up through the left frontal hip point. Take a full breath, inhale. Clasp the hands at the back of the skull. Hug the elbows in. Pull up your heart, chest, and lungs. Exhale, lower the left knee down towards the ground, Anjali. Pressing in towards the right heel, pull your heart away from your thighs. As you pull your heart from your thighs, press a little firmer in towards the right foot. Release, frame your right foot, step it back, high plank. Breathe in the high plank, inhale. Lower, exhale. Upward facing on the inhalation and downward facing exhale. Can you contain the pose? Hold the stillness. Maybe there's that sense of pressure into the hands. Just notice what you feel. You don't need to understand it, just be present with it. Continue to press into the palms. Float the left leg, inhale to the sky. Bend the knee and open through the hip, exhale. That left foot starts to step outside of the left hand, we find lizard. Fingertips down. So pulling in towards the heels of those hands a little higher. Shifting through the pelvis. Left arm close to left knee. You don't have to go anywhere, but you might feel tempted to pull and reach through your fingers. Feel into the breath, feel into that shift of weight through two legs. Curl your chin in towards your chest, and maybe you're looking towards your right heel. And you can play with your depth here. It's totally your choice. Every time you practice this, it might feel a little bit different. We walk our hands back. Take a subtle back bend just by pulling your chest up like it's upward facing. Inhale. Move through Prasarita, exhale. So wide leg fold, long edge of the mat. Fingertips are down. Lift your chest, inhale. Your toes are parallel. Bend just your left knee. So you bend into towards that left knee, say to yourself, soft ankles, but press into the little toe side of that right foot. Reach through your crown, see if we can send that seat a little bit deeper, lower than the back of your heart. Keep this left leg super bent. Pivot on your left toes, place your hands at heart. Lean it forwards in towards almost a warrior three. Bellies and thighs are close. And it starts to feel a little ooh la la. Keep it going. Take a full breath. Inhale. Step back with the right foot. Exhale. Lead your arms to the sky. You're in a high lunge. Breathe into the high lunge space. Inhale. And just contain that breath. It's going to support you. Exhale. Hands start to interlace to the back of the head. Wrap your elbows in. Pull your chest up. Send your right knee down towards the ground. Your toe stays tucked. This Anjali is about pressing into the heel, pulling the pelvis a little higher and opening through the heart. Release and frame your left foot. Stepping back, high plank. Chaturangas, exhale. Upward facing. Lifting through the hips, downward facing. Now from this space, take a steady rise to tiptoes. Send your knees down. Release your bum towards your heels. Take a moment to pause. And when we're practicing again, there's this conversation. It's me and you and yourselves. Everything is happening. There's quite a lot going on, but we don't necessarily have to know all of that just yet. The beauty is really in the unraveling. And moment by moment, piece by piece, just knowing ourselves a little bit more. From here, maybe our eyes stay closed, we trust ourselves. We reach our hands back out, we tuck our toes, we lift our hips, and we're back in downward facing dog. We move towards our tiptoes as we inhale. We can step or float our hands behind our wrists as we exhale. Lift your chest on inhalation. Now from this space, we're going to start to fold, so pulling your chin down a little bit. As you start to fold, can you reach without shifting your weight, your hands ahead of you? So your hands now might travel off the mat, but you keep all of your weight firmly in the foot. And with this space, as you plug in towards the tips of your fingers, can you almost feel like you're pushing your feet into the ground really actively? And as you push your feet super actively into the ground, can you feel like you're pulling your pelvis up a little higher, walking your fingers further away, and maybe there's a deeper sense of pulling your body in towards your thighs. And then sliding your fingers back underneath your shoulders, pull up through your chest space, inhale. Plant down through your palms, step, hop, float or fly, chaturangas, exhale. Upward facing through inhalation. And downward facing exhale, we are there. Draw your right leg up to the ceiling space, inhale, breath. Bend through the knee and open through the hip, exhale, breath. Now draw your right foot outside of your right hand. Lowering your left knee down towards the ground. Pivot your left toe to the long edge of the mat. Right hand is down to earth or brick or whatever you've got going on. Lift your left arm high. Can you draw your pubic bone forwards? So really think about that shift. Press down, pull your left arm up and over your head. Let's all pause here, inhale. You might continue to pause there, or you might start to shift your right hand on or off the brick behind your right little toe. That might see your left hand going down to catch a hold of the top of the right foot, pressing into the palm and pulling that right leg up. Now you can pause, or you're kicking that right leg forwards, pressing into the palm and rolling the gaze underneath the arm. We're all breathing into left heart, inhale. And releasing foot down if we lifted it on exhale. Now listen, you're going to pivot your left toes back and reach your left arm as far forwards as you can. Right hand is going off the mat, but it's going outside of that right edge. Lift up through your hips so you're in single-legged forward fold. Curling your chin in towards your chest here. Now pushing towards those fingers, use the floor and see if you can start to pull your right hip back a little bit in space. And you can really play with your distance, you can play with your depth. Maybe stretching a little bit through the tissues of that left foot as you really are high on the ball of that toe. One more. And then we're bending in towards the right knee and moving the right hand inside of the right foot to ground the left heel. Left arm is going alongside the head, extended side angle. Reaching through your left fingers, press down. Can we really slot the right arm into the right leg? Rotate the gaze in towards the left palm. Keep feeling that space. Maybe the right palm goes fully to the ground, shoulder drops inside of the right knee. Can you keep lifting the right lung to the left lung, a little twist through the spine? Here through inhale. Now exhale, look down. Continue to send your left arm forwards. It's already reaching there, so keep that flow. Pivot to the left wall of the toe. Now this time, your right arm is going to reach to the center of your mat, inside your right leg. Step your left foot in a little bit. Your arms are wide. You're going to shift your weight and see if you can pull your left leg up to the sky. As your right hand is reaching back, we're closing the gap between the right shoulder and the right knee. We're pulling up from underneath the left glute in that left leg, and we're really feeling there's an energy and an enthusiasm in how we lift that left leg up. We're going to hold in that standing split variation for 2 more breaths. Breathing 1. And then we're going to move first the right hand for stability, just to the top right corner of the mat, and send your left hand just off the top left corner. Step your left foot behind you on a diagonal, ground through the outer edges of the feet and pull your right arm high. You can stay or Vashisthasana variations, side planks. Maybe there's a bending in the left knee as you draw the right leg up. As you bend into the left knee, you might squeeze your left glute on. Keep the left knee bent and see if you can veer the right leg outwards. 2 breaths. Releasing the right foot down. Everyone stand on the right foot at the center of the mat. Start to hug the left leg up and into the chest. Right hand is going to move to the front of the left thigh. Left shin, sorry, reach through the crown. Maybe right hand goes to little toe side of left foot. Start to feel in towards a rotation. Press the heel away from those left fingertips. Balance the focus, steady the mind. Release, left foot goes back. Frame your right foot. Lift your right leg into the sky, inhale. And as we exhale, bend through the knee, open through the hip space, pause, or perhaps flip the dog for wild thing. Sending the hips up, opening through the heart. Imagine you're going to trail those right fingertips to the ground. Open through the throat maybe. And then releasing, 2 hands go down. Let's meet in downward facing. Pause in downward facing dog, feel breath in. And then send your knees to the floor. Send your bum to your heels, child's pose. And your breath can be really responsive and reactive here. And as you just drop back into this space, continue to meet yourself. A hotter version of yourself, a thirstier version of yourself, whatever it might be. And then we start to bring ourselves up in towards a tabletop. You're going to press in towards your palms, tuck your left toe, step your right foot wide, and that wide right foot goes off the mat. So if you need to change your orientation, please do so. Press in towards the left palm, draw the right arm into the ceiling space, inhale. And as you exhale, start to thread your right arm underneath your left arm and draw your right shoulder closer to the floor space. You might need to play with where your weight is, maybe your left fingers reach forwards. And we keep that real sense of plugging in towards the right sole of the foot here. And then returning the left hand down, press into that left palm, pull your right arm all the way up to the ceiling, inhale. And then right hand closes the gap with the floor space. Right foot journeys back and our hips lift up towards the ceiling. And we meet back in Adho Mukha, downward facing. Left leg goes up to the sky as we inhale. Bending the knee, opening hip, exhale. Left foot steps outside of our left hand and the right knee lowers down. So shifting back in towards that gate space, pivot the right toe as the left hand is down. Right arm is going all the way up. You lift through that right arm. I want us to feel this arcing upwards through the right side of the lung. Carry the right arm alongside the head. Breathe at least 1 breath here. Maybe you choose to stay or start to send your left hand behind your left calf, outer edge of left foot. Heel toe the left foot, grab a hold of the top of the left foot with right hand, and just see if you can pick up that leg. Press down, maybe start to kick the leg forwards. And you really have to squeeze between the left inner thigh and the left arm here. Inhale. Releasing the foot if you lifted it down to the ground, exhale. And then starting to reorientate. So pulling your right toes back, send your left arm wide off the mat behind you. Right arm forwards, single-legged forward fold. And there's a real big sense of distance and expansion between the hands.
What I want you to feel is that left hip pulling backwards. They do not have to be totally square, but that action of pulling back on left hip, spiraling forward through right hip is really glorious. Keep that action going. 2 more. And then we lift our gaze as bending in towards the left knee. Move the left hand inside of the left foot as you ground the right heel. Take up loads of space with your legs, extended side angle. Right arm goes alongside the head. Press down, reach through those fingers. Lift your right hip up a little bit for me. So I want you to feel like you're stretching and arcing the top right side from little toe side of right foot to fingers of right hand. Look down to the ground, keep sending that right hand forwards. It's already on its way, so just keep reaching it there. Pivot onto the right toes. This left hand stays on the mat, reaches to the center of it. Step your right foot a little bit closer. Now you're shifting a weight to stand on your left foot. It's a standing split, but something about this arm positioning really throws off the center of gravity, center of balance. So just feel how you need to balance into that space. Left shoulder, left knee, right arm. Draw up from underneath that right glute. Intention in setting the right leg up. Crossing, so releasing that left hand first for stability. Cross right leg behind you diagonally. Right hand goes down. A little toe size of feet, so you fully flex into the feet here. Left arm is up, inhale. Pausing on Vashisthasana variations. Maybe there's a toe, I want you to shift weight then into the knee. See if you can extend the left leg up. Press into that right palm and open your left hip outwards. Return the left sole of the foot to the ground, center of your mat. Hug your right leg up and in towards your chest. Calm. Soon as we let the mind be calm, the body be calm, everything kind of shifts a little bit as well. Expand, lengthen, explore. Then release, step the right foot back, frame your left foot. Press into the hands, lift your left leg up, inhale. Three-legged down dog, bend through the knee. You can pause, you don't have to go anywhere. If you crave it, flip the dog. Can you press the hips up? Can you trail the left fingers? Down to the ground, maybe press, shift, move a little bit in the space. Nothing has to feel too static. And then release, hands down, back into downward facing. Pause in stillness in downward facing. Contain that for 2. And then sending the knees down towards the floor space. Let's keep that right toe tucked. Tabletop position straight away this time. Stepping the left foot wide, pressing into the right palm. Left arm is going to pull up, inhale. And then threading the left arm underneath the right arm as we exhale. As you thread it through, let the hips move a little bit. Reach your right arm forwards. Now push into the ground. And then release. Hands, feet, everything starts to come back. Tabletop position, toes are tucked. Feel a little pressure towards those palms. Lift your hips all the way up and back into downward facing. Last little bit of fluidity before we steady it slightly. Step or float your feet towards the top of the mat, behind your wrists once more. Lift through your chest, inhale. So keeping your toes forwards, bend through the knees, exhale. Reach your hands and fingers out ahead of you. Maybe this goes to a fold, or perhaps the right hand goes behind you. You shift the weight into the palm, you press down and you lift the hips up, and there's a wild thing variation. You pull it back, reach your left hand forwards, pull the weight back into the feet. Maybe you fold, maybe left hand goes behind you, press down, lift up, open through the chest, heart and lungs, and then release and pull it all back again. One more time each side. If you're moving through that, stay with it, or adapt as you need the practice to adapt today. Last one. All meet, folding over the legs, feet are really wide, mat width distance, maybe a little bit more. Maybe there's a couple of bounces or reaches of the crown or the head a little bit closer to the ground. Maybe some sways, or just landing in your stillness. And then sending our hands towards the floor, lifting through the chest. We're just going to simply step back to downward facing. And as we step back to downward facing and our hips are high, again, let's just plug a little bit in towards the palms and press the hips slightly higher to the ceiling. Lift your right leg high, inhale. We're going to pull the knee towards the nose as we exhale, moving in towards Kapotasana, sending your right shin forwards and sending your pelvis down. Now you might want to place a cushion, a brick, anything at all underneath your pelvis. You also might want to heel toe your right foot a little bit more parallel to the front edge of the mat. So just see which camp you're in. Reaching through your fingers, your forearms, and just taking a little moment to be soft over that right leg. Give yourself permission to relax that right glute. Now you could choose to stay here and just continue that sense of drawing yourself a little bit closer to earth, or you're going to walk your hands back towards your right shin. We're not going to let this be passive. We're not going to keep our pelvis close today. It's an option, but not today's option. Tuck your left toes. Scoot your left knee really far in. Now push down in towards the right little toe side of the foot and the right shin. And I want you to feel like you've been put almost on a spike and everything goes up and in towards the center of your body. So pull your hips up, pull your inner thighs closer. Arms are going to go to the sky, and we're not going to stress about our flexibility. We're going to reach our Kali Mudra upwards, and we're going to think that we're growing from our pubic bone through the center of ourselves, through the crown of our head to the very tips of our index fingers. Keep going up, inhale. And if that inhale starts to give you permission to start to go backwards, then you can explore the backwards space. And in Ekapada, Raja, Kapotasana, press a little firmer. Pull yourself through center, inhale. Place the hands down, exhale. Step back, downward facing dog. Experiencing the right side of the leg and how it feels a little bit different for a moment. Left leg goes up, inhale. Pulling the left leg in, pigeons, exhale. Sending it down, feeling what we need here. Is it a little bit more space? Is it a couple of props? And then letting ourselves fold. I always have to say to myself to really relax the glutes. They want to do a lot, but just see if they could do slightly less for a moment. And either you're going to stay or you're going to walk your hands towards your left shin, and we're going to scoot that right knee a little bit closer. So pulling that in, tuck through your right toes, pull yourself up really nice and high. I want you to be active, lifting in towards the arm space, interlace all your fingers except your first finger and thumb, continue everything going upwards. So I'm not collapsing, I'm interested in the sky, I'm interested in the space I can pull in towards the front of my body, but the strength I can build through my spine. Permission to extend a little further if that feels good. And that permission doesn't come from me, it comes from you. Back through your central space, place your hands to the ground. Step back, last downward facing dog. Take a fuller, deeper breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and let it out. Move to rise towards your tiptoes. And let's bring the seat all the way down towards the ground. And once your seat has found the ground, bring the soles of the feet to the floor. If you had pillows or bricks or anything of the like, bring it with you. I need a tiny sip of water. And then we go all the way down towards our backs. Nothing worse than not making it through that last little bit because you need to cough. And once you've met your spines, just bring yourself fully to settle. Soles of the feet to the ground, knees to the ceiling. And you just give yourself a moment of stillness, a moment of settling. And I have a few options, so you can just lead the way, follow along, choose something different if you need to choose something different. So if you have 2 bricks, you're going to take them to the highest setting. You could use one, you could use both, it doesn't really matter. Place it underneath the base of your spine, top of your glutes. So you can just really rest your pelvis and just let it go. So it feels in towards that sense of support of that angular brick. We also go and try this in a very similar context, but using our own hands. So pressing the hips up and just scooting our hands underneath the base of our pelvis, so wrapping our elbows in. I've hooked my thumbs to my spine and my fingers are curled outside the fleshy parts of my hips. So you're holding your pelvis upwards. You could keep that, or you might want to find a little bit more of the heel of the hand going underneath and then just resting down through the pelvis. Option to keep that fully, or maybe one leg kind of pulls in, pressing towards the hands, and it's almost like you're doing a hollow back here. So you want to keep the weight of your bum in the hands, and maybe there's a lifting up of the legs. Breathe as you need in this variation. Hold and support your pelvis through 2. Journey your way down. So making your way down towards the ground, hopefully more glamorously than I just did. Goalpost the arms wide. As you start to goalpost the arms wide, let's just take a couple of windscreen wipers of those knees. So dropping them over towards the right-hand side. Then pulling that all the way back through center, dropping them over towards the left-hand side. And once more on each of those sides of your space. And then just staying with the hip space for that last little moment, really simple. All we're gonna do is hug the legs in, but can you bring the soles of the feet together here? Interlace your hands, and can you hug the legs in, lift the pelvis, lift the head, just so you can shuffle into the space. And then keeping the soles of the feet together, can you really feel like you're holding the weight of the little toes in the hands? And you're pressing your whole spine to elongate down into the mat. And it might feel really, really gorgeous to take a couple of little shifts or movements before we start to land back into the stillness of this. And I wanted to take us through a hip practice today, connecting in towards Svadhisthana chakra, just because it's that beautiful space of finding a little bit of creativity, a femininity that sits within each and every person. And there's a really beautiful power in that. It's also this kind of time of year where people start to play a little bit more, whether that's through their clothing, going out slightly more, socializing more, kind of unsticking ourselves from that real winter slog. Maybe that just means that you're starting to feel yourself, or you're feeling a little bit more of your confidence creeping back in. And expanding through the hips almost just continues this for us. We start to access a little deeper. We start to open ourselves up to unravel. And through every single opening, every single practice, every single breath, we just know ourselves more and more. From this space, we're going to gather the legs in towards the chest space, wrap the arms around the fronts of our shins. And if it feels good, you can lift your nose to meet your knees, give everything a tighter squeeze as you inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to release into the Shavasana, or the seated meditation that serves you today. As one giant lung spread across the world, take a massive breath. Inhale. Open the mouths and let it out. Your time is more elastic, then please stay for as long as you need to stay, or as long as you can stay. With me, then just start to meet yourself where you are here. Maybe you feel very subtle shifts in your landscape, very subtle shifts in your texture. There's this very subtle but interesting sense of unbecoming. Going through all of that so you can strip it all away and just listen and discover what's at the center. And trust in letting go of all of the expectations or the narratives that are put upon you, and allowing yourself to create that real sense of self. We can start to bring a little bit of movement back into that self. It could stretch really big, it could stay really tiny, just do what you need to do. And eventually we will start to bring ourselves, if you're moving there, all the way up and back in towards a seat. So as you start to bring yourself to that space, could your eyes stay closed? Maybe your hands rest against your heart, you drop your chin towards your chest. Maybe your hands pull in towards prayer and Jali Mudra at the heart center.
And there's gratitude for arriving to the practice, especially in this setting. It takes discipline, it takes courage, and it takes momentum that comes from a really deep space. If you're with me, lift your thumbs to Ajna chakra, the space between your eyebrows. Extend your gratitude out to those who made it possible for you to know and practice yoga in this way today. And gratitude from me for trusting in me to guide you through. Thank you so, so much. You're all gorgeous, you're all wonderful, and I can't wait to practice with you more and more. Thank you so much, and I shall see you super soon. Bye-bye.